What's up, Ozones? Welcome to the Ozone and welcome to another FNAF video today. It's been a while since I've covered any sort of FNAF on this channel, but we are so back because there is apparently a Help Wanted 2 update coming in 2 days. I don't understand that. It's actually coming out on my birthday, which is funny. Just if you wanted to know. And this is first teased on Dorco's charity event, which unfortunately I didn't watch. I was a bit busy partying, but I don't know what this big reveal is, but apparently there's been two big reveals. So I'm going to take a look at what they are now, and you can see my reaction, and let's talk about them. Okay, so I am actually looking on my Discord server, which you can access in the link in the description below. And there is apparently a GIF or a GIF, whatever you want, by Dorco announcing the Help Wanted 2 update. So let's have a look at what this is. Help Wanted 2 update coming Tuesday, 10th of December. Okay, so we've got the Mimic in costume. The Grimmick, as you may, because this is Gregory Mimic. And hang on, there's something on the right. Is that a small Vanny? Wait, I need to pause it in the right place. Wait! That's Tiger Rock. That is literally Tiger Rock right there. Okay, so for those of you who haven't read the FNAF books, like I have a million times over, essentially there is this whole Mimic plot in the Tales from the Pizzaplex books, and a lot of people are wondering whether it's canon to the games or not. There's this huge debate that's constantly going on. If you step onto FNAF Twitter for like at least 1 second, you will see a post that says, I think that the books are canon, I think that the books aren't canon. There's this whole argument that's been going on for like 3+ years by now, maybe even 4, but quite a few years. And it kind of feels like with each game, Scott and Steelwool are kind of working on implementing a lot of the things that are happening in the books to the games, and they're kind of coordinating all of it. But like, there is still a huge argument going on, and I'm not too sure why personally, because I think it's pretty cut and dry that like the Mimic story that's happening in the Tales from the Pizzaplex books is the origin story of the Mimic from the games, and I've made a few videos on that if you want to go and watch them. This is quite a big deal though, because this is a completely different character that we haven't seen in the games before. It is Tiger Rock, and Tiger Rock appeared in the books first, and I'm trying to think about what the implications of this are. Obviously, Tiger Rock was one of the creatures that the Mimic 1 program took a hold of. And it was a really weird story, because like we know that the Tiger Rock animatronic exists as like a physical, tangible thing, like an actual animatronic. There was an actual animatronic tiger head. But there was also like this whole VR game, and I'm not sure what was going on with the Tiger Rock story, but there was like a hide and seek game that they were doing in that. You don't need to know like the ins and outs of it. Essentially all you need to know is that Tiger Rock is heavily connected with the Mimic. And the reason it is specifically a tiger that is connected with the Mimic is because in the story The Mimic, which is essentially the origin story of the Mimic character, there is a little boy called David, who is Edwin Murray's son. And he has this tiger plush, and it's like a snow, is it a snow tiger? I can't remember what the white and black tigers are called, but it's a white and black tiger. And David carries it around everywhere, and then eventually David unfortunately dies in a tragic car accident, and then that's where like the Mimic picks up on it, and he starts to mimic David, and he kind of holds, I know he holds at some point the tiger plush in his arm, and so yeah, this is very interesting that not only Tiger Rock, but a Tiger Rock plushie has kind of come into the games, and it's very accurate to the games, very accurate to the books as well, because in the books and even on the book cover you can see that Tiger Rock has one blue eye and one green eye. Now I find it funny that initially I said, is that a Vanny plush? And you probably laughed at that, but the reason I said that is because look at the eye shape, right? I think the eye shape is very clearly kind of referencing the Vanny suit. So it makes me wonder, like, maybe when Vanny made her suit specifically for Glitchtrap, for the Mimic 1 program, that she did it using inspiration from the Tiger Rock plush. That's my initial thought with that. I don't know why else it would look like Vanny other than just like steel wool design choices. Because, you know, we never know if things are like Easter eggs or like intended to be there or not. But I'm pretty sure that that's intentional. Like, we have a lot of plushies. Or at least Steel Wool have a lot of plushy 3D models and stuff from Help Wanted 1. And even from Help Wanted 2, we have like a lot of plushies. And none of them look like this. This is the first one. It looks really goofy. But that is because it looks like the Vanny suit. So that is very, very interesting. And something that I'm sure we're going to see more of in 2 days. 2 days! It is so, so cool that there is a new update in 2 days. Like, it just kind of came out of nowhere, right? It does make me wonder, like, what are they adding? Because the thing is about, like, a serious conversation here, me and you. I haven't been very active in the FNAF community recently, and a big reason for that is because I'm kind of bored of it. It's hard. I'm going to make a separate video on this, probably. But I find it hard to make content on FNAF recently because it just kind of... I feel like it's all died down a little bit. There was a little bit of a crazy year, 2024. Like, Into the Pit came out, and 5 Laps at Freddy's, and everything else came out. And it was all just kind of a lot at once. And then it kind of just all died down. You know, we've got the FNAF movie, the second FNAF movie coming this time next year. And then we've got Secret of the Mimic coming out sometime next year. It just seems like we don't have anything to kind of chew on. And I know that I still need to do audiobooks, and I know that I haven't finished the week before, and I am very cruel for doing that. But, you know, I just find it hard to get the motivation these days to do FNAF videos, especially when the community is quite toxic. I will say that and put my hood up as I say that. So that's kind of the reason. But, like, in 2 days, we might get new content. Or we will get new content. But, like, what will the new content be? I'm surprised it's not a DLC, to be honest. I'm very surprised. So it might just be like a minor update, like 2 new minigames or something. Imagine if there are Tales from the Peterplex minigames to help further confirm the fact that Tales is, in fact, in the games. That would be insane. That would be really, really cool. I would love to see, you know, we go inside the Storyteller's Tree. That would be freaking awesome. I would love to see, like, Bellora's Fitness and Flex, or, like, any of the old attractions. Like, Summer Canophobia, for example. Like, it would be so freaking cool to have more story-adjacent mini-games, so that not only are we kind of... I feel like a lot of people would complain, I know, but, like, not only would it be cool to have that connection to strengthen those theories, but it would also just be cool to see those characters in action, because, like, a lot of them are quite scary concepts that just aren't kind of like, that aren't followed through in the games. And so I feel like it would be really cool to see that. But I can only dream. I wonder if it will come to fruition. It probably won't. But we will see in 2 days. So apparently there's one more thing that helps strengthen TalesGames. So let's have a look. Okay, this is a post from Johnny Blocks on Twitter. New billboard in 5 Laps at Freddy's for Murray Co. robotic vacuuming unit. Okay. In the early 70s, Edwin Murray started his company and received his first patent on a robotic vacuum cleaner, which I'm assuming is taken straight from the books. Thank you so much, Johnny Blocks. Otherwise, I would have to do that in this video. So let's have a look at this. So apparently there's a new update to 5 Laps at Freddy's. And it looks like, I mean, judging by this picture alone, it looks like we've got some Christmas lights at the top. That's quite a nice addition to a really game. But other than that, we have in the Midnight Motorist course as well. We'll talk about that. We have Murray.co Hug robotic vacuuming unit. So that's obviously making me think of Mr. Hugs. Is that his name? Is that his name? Yeah, it is Mr. Hugs. It is Mr. Hugs. So I do remember, and I will have to go back after recording this video, but I remember in the Mimic story that we've talked about before, in that we have Edwin Murray, who is the creator of the Mimic. He's not evil or anything, it just kind of backfired. But Edwin Murray also helped with Fazbear Entertainment in the late 70s, it's theorized at least, or early 80s. And one of the things that he built was Mr. Hugs. I think he said that he put like a vacuum cleaner together with some googly eyes or something, and there was a budget animatronic. And then it's really weird that we keep seeing him. Like we saw him in Into the Pit as well, or we saw at least number 1 crate. I think we saw Mr. Hugs, but like either way, we keep seeing Mr. Hugs, and there's actually some sort of lore behind Trash and the Gang, which is really strange. But it seems to be the fact that like Edwin not only created the Mimic in the books, but also created Mr. Hugs in the books. So that's like a tie between the books and the games. That's our tie. So he made the Mimic in the books. Someone made the Mimic in the games. We don't know who it is. But then who made Mr. Hugs? Well, it can be explained by the books where Edwin Murray made Mr. Hugs. And so it's like, it's consistent in both of the universes. So, and that's actually a really good point. Murray.co is appearing in the games. That's insane. That's insane, because so far we've heard of the Mimic. Cool. But a lot of people have been like, well, maybe Edwin is a Henry parallel. So maybe it was actually Henry that built the Mimic in the games. This is soft deconfirmation of that. That's a soft debunk, I would say. Because it shows that in this universe, Edwin Murray and Henry Emily coexist. So if they both exist in the same universe, then why would Henry have been the one to make the Mimic? I feel like people who are denying books and games are synonymous are just kind of overcomplicating things at this point. I'll make a whole video on that at some point. I've been dying to do that, but it takes a lot of work. It is very strange. So it seems like Edwin Murray started with like a small... It seems like he downgraded. He went from a really... what looks like a Roomba. Is that what it's called? A Roomba, yeah. He went from like a Roomba design to Mr. Hugs. That's strange. But the thing I wanted to point out, right, is we're talking about dates and stuff. So this is early 70s and 80s. Or, sorry, late 70s, early 80s. And then this is the Midnight Motorist course. So that makes me think, or it leads me to believe at least, that Midnight Motorist could be early 80s. Which kind of aligns with Charlotte Emily's death, 1983. William speeding away. We know that Midnight Motorist is William now. I need to make another video on Midnight Motorist at some point, which is actually correct. I'm so sad that my previous one got debunked as soon as the video got released, but you can't hold on to theories religiously. You've got to move on. But this is very interesting. I'll have another think about this while I'm editing and stuff. Okay. What do you guys think of these things? I think that they are... I think it's pretty good. Obviously, 5 Laps at Freddy's, again, has debatable canonicity. Everything at this point in the FNAF franchise has debatable canonicity, but there's got to be a point where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to take all of the information that we have and use it to build myself a theory. You can't start with a conclusion and then piece your way towards it. You've got to take what you've got, use all the information you have, and just dump it into your best theory that you have. And at the moment, I'm thinking this is great proof for book games synonymity. I really do think that the books are in the games. I don't think anything at this point in time is going to sway me the other way, because I feel like we just keep seeing more and more evidence. And again, I might have a video out about that at some point, but it's a lot of hard work. So if anyone wants to write it for me, I will happily edit the video. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you in another video. Goodbye.